this is not a gaming stream. Uh, Edit. We'll do this just chatting. Man, this is not great. You guys will see firsthand how I do it. Woo, because I didn't prep. I didn't prepare. Alright. Chat 1. Let's see. How do I scan this? This is the content that you pay for. But now you see what it looks like behind the scenes. I should probably save this as its own thing. Wait. Can I go to chapter 1, do a create new folder, call it chapter 2. How did I do it? Man, I didn't even... Can I paste it? Clipboard empty. Wait, copy, paste. Ooh, wow, man. Oh! I can save it as a... Can I do it on a good format? PNG, yeah. Pasted file. That's a huge file. That's 17 megabytes. That's a pretty dope feature, I'm not gonna lie. Uncompressed and everything. That's awesome. You guys can't see it, but I can. And that's all that matters. Alright, so that's 11, 12. I might as well do the rest. Might as well do the rest while I'm here. Scan. Doing this for 20 minutes. No chat, and I'm gone. I'm gonna go off playing Breath of Fire 3 or Gantz for the PS2. Wow, this is going swimmingly. So 2, 4, 6. Man, it's been a while. This was the wait, when did I finish this? I finished this dang, this was before I even dated it. I'm so mad. I'm so upset. 16, this is the back, 17, 18, 19, 20. One of these days, we'll get a live drawing stream. Let me rename this. 1 dash. Wait. This page is 9 through 12. I feel like I should do the other stuff. Do the other pages while I'm here. No, not an AVF, silly Billy. Pages 13 dash 16. There we go. Oh, is it formulating? Alright, cool. It's done rendering. Next. Wait, well, to save on time, I might as well do 11 through 16. 2, 4, 6. Because, like I said, it was like either 6 through 10. Let's get it. Let's scan through 20. The art style of this is meant to be simple, something I can do quickly. This is kind of the cool down series. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's meant to be the cool down series. So I might go a little bit further. Depends on how I feel about it or how I approach it. But man, this is reminding me of how much I really like Linux, of how plug and play almost any device is. Because when I plugged my printer, when I installed CatchyOS and I plugged my printer in, it just knew what it was. Same with the monitors, with the well, not so much with the drawing tablet. The drawing tablet was a little bit of work. But since a lot of things are open source, it's just great. A lot of things are pretty great, except for NVIDIA graphics cards, unfortunately. Because it's not open source, unlike AMD. So that's why if I ever get a new graphics card, it needs to be an AMD. Because Windows does not look like it's going to improve anytime soon. 17-20. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I thought it would be a little bit more. So yeah, this is going to be the max. Like 10 is going to be the max that I'm going to work on this. And I feel like I should probably shrink down the size. Like, I wonder if I can do that. No, wait, I can do that. Well, I'll do something that's a little bit better. I'll do something that's a little bit better. I'll screenshot. So if I go to OBS, change this, properties, Clip Studio Paint. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I'll go here. Well, I can honestly quit without saving. There. And on this panel, I love having two screens. I almost had 3. Well, I can set up 3 3 monitors, but that's annoying. I can't imagine ever needing 3 monitors. Okay, so I go here, screenshot. This is a no. Take here, screenshot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I need to harken back on previous references of how I drew these characters. I mean, the cool thing about these thumbnails so the cool thing about these thumbnails is that I don't need to be detailed with it. Like I don't need the most pressing details. Oh. Quiet scanner. I don't need you anymore. Yeah, the coolest thing about this man, this took a little bit for me to find. It's really funny. I knew it probably wasn't too far back behind Just a Reaper, because I remember I did this back to back. Did I not date the end of... Man, I need to do that more. Whatever. I'm disappointed. And I think on the 5th chapter of Purgatory Academy, I'm gonna need to rewrite the Playground of Ideas. Bro says my comic has over 60 pages and I'm paying for every one of them. Dude. There's a protein. Yo, Lewis, what's going on? Welcome to the chat. I'm just doing the setup. Because I forgot to do it before the stream. Wait, can you guys hear me? Yep. Yeah, you just missed the setup. I was just scanning all... Well, let me just do... Save as... 11, 12... 13 and 14. Wait. Yeah, 13, 14. I can hear you. Good. Let me open 11 and 12 real quick. Yikes, did I mess up? Nah, but how you doing, man? Yeah, that's open 12. What did 9 and 10 look like? Did I mess up? Did I mess up again? I would really hate if I did. Please don't tell me it froze. Okay, it didn't. What did 9 and 10 look like? Okay, cool, I just didn't save over it. Alright, time to wipe all of this. Delete. Save. And let me check. Okay, cool. Copy. Paste. This is 11, 12. More or less to scale. This is it. This is how I more or less, this is how I thumbnail now. Instead of sketching everything, I have the power of digital to do crazy stuff like this. Now, edit. Let's try transform. Free transform, there we go. Just stretch it all to the edges so it can bleed through. Well, I'm trying to remember my process, because I remember it was sketching, line art, and other thing. Sketching, line art, backgrounds if I need it. Well, the thumbnails, the line art, the other thing if I need it. Oh, the lettering, and then the background. Okay, I gotta remember what's happening here. I more or less know what's happening, and because of how I draw the characters, I think I have an idea of who's talking. So I remember what's going on now is a conversation between the middle and the youngest. Yeah, the middle and the youngest of the older siblings. And the conversation that they're having is about nepotism, because the middle sister has the opportunity to grant the youngest sister the a part of the play, but the middle sister's like, no, she gotta work it. She gotta work for her spot. It's like she has to work for the opportunity, just like anybody else. And the younger is like, bruh, like that's the whole point of family. The whole point of family is that you have an easy end. Hey Thomas, what's up, G4? We're back. I probably would do this for the other. Da 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 da. Sure. Let's see what 13 and 14 looks like. I could get back to drawing sketches, but honestly, yeah. I gotta get back to like drawing these characters because I don't have a reference sheet. The only reference that I have is like how I drew them last time in my imagination. Okay, yeah. It's so effing over. What's up? What's so effing over? Like what I have is pretty good to go off of. Let me know what's over. The state of comics and graphic novels. What's the news today? What's the breaking news? I'm in my cave, just doing my thing. I hate news, because every time I look in the news, something that I don't like is succeeding. So I decide not to look at the news anymore. What's the point of the news when all it does is make me snooze? It pisses me off. I'm just not a big fan of that either. Okay, let's see. Look at these. Book 1, thumbnails, chapter 2. Man, I absolutely love when I thumbnail panels that are just some thumbnail pages that are 2 panels. Those are my favorite ones. Less work for me. And I do like less work. Apparently DC caved to the DC So White crowd and making a Vixen and Static ongoing series. Okay. I mean, if they have the money to do that, and if the people who are pushing DC So White are willing to pay for it. I mean, that's the thing about capitalism. If people want it, or if they express a desire to want something, then it makes sense for the company to say, all right, sure, go nuts. You want this so bad? Take it. I mean, it's not like I'm going to read it. Like, if they animate it, that'll be a little bit interesting. But right now, it's in the comic phase. Like, when was they had several Static cartoons and reboots. What's the term? Reruns. Not reruns. What's the term when you bring something back? Yeah, there was another. I know years ago there was a Static reprint. Not reprint. They basically told the story again. That's what I'm trying to get at. And it did its run, and now it's gone. It did its thing. So, and Vixen, all right, sure. Sure, like, that's all I gotta say. It's not that interesting, sorry. Reboot, reprint. Yeah, reboot. That's the word. That's the word. Reboot. But why beg, though? Because that's all they know how to do. Well, it wasn't begging, it was bullying. I feel like those are two completely different things. And I think the one thing that a lot of people have learned from being on the internet is that bullying works. Bullying corporations, they work if you do it long enough. Because all they know, all they listen to are the vocal minority. If it's loud enough. So whatever they do, I'm just not that surprised. Is it going to be good? Maybe. I don't know. Like, no matter what, I'm not. Maybe it's gonna be good. I just don't know. Like, I think Ultimate Batman looks good, and I haven't read more than a couple issues, or more than like an issue and a half. I just don't have the time to do that. It's the same thing with all the conversation about the Odyssey movie. I've been getting more and more videos talking about that Odyssey movie. What's it? The Nolan guy created. What was it? Nolan North? Nolan whatever? Nolan South? cardinal direction. I think the only time I listen to somebody's opinion on something is when it's negative. Hey, Lamai, what's going on? So when Vixen and Static comes out, I'll listen to the negative reviews because I trust the negative crit. Nice to see more Chimera Island. Yeah, always good to see more Chimera Island love. Yeah, but if there's going to be a negative review, then I'll look at it. I'll listen to the. I will listen to what negative things people will have to say about it, because that is way more interesting to me. I mean, good news. Don't know how good this news is, but my Facebook page finally reached 100 followers. I had to pay for them. I had to like pay Meta to show my account to tier 1 countries because the algorithm doesn't know who to push my content to. But hey, it's one step further to the plan. It's one step further on the plan. 100 already? Oh yeah, I'm pretty good when it comes with ads. I only had to spend around $15 for it. It's not that great. Not that great, honestly, but it's all tier 1 countries. So I wouldn't have to have a large amount of views to get paid once my account gets monetized. So that's the thing. If you ever want to run ads on literally anything, you always have to go towards the tier 1 countries, which is the USA, Canada, United Kingdom, New Zealand, and Australia. Those are the top 5. Those are the tier 1 English speaking countries where those eyeballs are worth a lot of money. What about the average engagement in terms of likes and posts? I'm working on that. I'm working on that. The more that I post, I am seeing. Well, Instagram is telling me that more and more people are looking at my post. Looking at my post, the more I post. I said post a lot. I can't formulate that sentence in a more aesthetically pleasing manner, but I am targeting the tier 1 countries, and I believe what I should do next. Well, I'm gonna wait to get to 500. I feel like when I get to 500, which will probably be like $15 more, like 15 times 5. So probably it's gonna be like $75 to run that. So when I get to like around 500, I can probably start thinking about like ads to re-engage the audience, to make sure the audience that I managed to capture through my follow campaign to engage with my content, to show the algorithm what kinds of people are going to engage with it. So other content will be pushed within the algorithm, or future content will be pushed within the Facebook algorithm. The goal isn't to get more likes or reposts. The goal is engagement. That's what I've been putting my a lot of my attention to, the information that I can find on YouTube, because there's a lot more it's a lot more information about monetization on Facebook than there was years ago. when I tried it, like a year or two ago when I was thinking about it. And the way that Facebook is operating, it's different. What? Yeah, how Facebook is operating, it's different from YouTube. And even though likes and reposts, those are fine, but where the majority of the money is at, it is at engagement. So how long somebody will stay on your post, or how many times they will engage in a conversation under your post, is the meta. Pun not intended, right? Because the way that they pay you is how long can you keep people on their platform. So what I've been hearing is that what pays the most are images and text posts. Like, for example, G4, if you want to post your novel, you could post excerpts of your novel in an image format, and probably not even just run ads, but you could do other thing. You can do things like join Facebook groups, post it over there, and if you are monetized, you could get if you're monetized, you can monetize off of those image posts, because if your image post has a lot of words, that forces people to engage with it a little bit more, which means that they're going to look at that image more. They're going to look at those words or the text more. And that's what Facebook wants at the end of the day. So I've heard, right? That's the theory. Since you use Facebook now, how old would you say the average user? Like, I don't mind anybody my age using Facebook unless they live in the hood. Um, let me ask. Let me ask. Let me check it. Let me check this out. I have, well, actually, the majority of people who are following are around the age of 24 on the low end, and probably in their 40s or 50s in the high end. I do get people, well, Meta keeps posting my thing, keeps engaging. Well, the people who keeps engaging are people over like the 65 and up, like bracket, right? For some reason, the 65 and up bracket are the cheapest bracket, because I think just boomers click on everything. I think that's just how it is. If boomers just see an advertisement, they just click on it for some reason. So I get a handful of people 65 and up, but I would say, let me go on the Facebook ads and ask the Meta assistant, like, what are the demographics, or who's the average user. Am I dropping frames? What's going on? No. Yeah, I think for some reason going on uh, Meta Business Suite or going to Facebook Ad Manager, it takes a lot of resources. And my PC's on its last legs, unfortunately. But like I said, it's like 25. Did you change your camera? No, it's the same camera. It's always been this bad. No, it's not the camera that's the problem. It's OBS. And I don't know how to solve OBS because my camera was good when I was using StreamYard. StreamYard with Comic Ken. And when I went back to OBS, it was back to being terrible. Yeah, GG for the PC. You might need to buy new parts. I mean, I did, but it just got complicated. I bought the new parts, but I can't use it because I don't have the CPU cooler, and the CPU cooler bracket that I thought that I needed was for the wrong motherboard. So I bought two of the same CPU brackets for the wrong motherboard. So I just all I need to do now is just buy a new cooler for the bracket, so I can finally use the CPU. Finally use a better system. I can finally use a better CPU instead of using this CPU that came out in 2010. I can finally use a CPU that came out in 2020. So, how much money you lost, I don't want to think about it. I try to be frugal, but I don't want to think about it. I bought a power supply, which I probably shouldn't have. It's probably a good idea, but I probably shouldn't have. Like, it's probably like 300. 300. Literally the same price. 300, 350. Probably, honestly, the same price that I could have gotten a used CPU from Facebook Marketplace if I was a bit more patient and hunted for it more. If I posted more on Facebook and kept bothering people in the marketplace to make them know that I'm not a bot, then I probably would have had a new PC at this point. And the PC would probably be a lot better. How much do you expect to spend to promote your Facebook? Probably $100, but that's through the span of a couple weeks. Because my ads are running at $5 a day, right? And I feel like I'm able to get pretty good mileage out of that $5 a day. Because like yesterday, I managed to get like around 27 followers for $5, which doesn't sound like a lot. But yeah, it doesn't sound like a lot. But it's still learning. There is a learning curve. They're like, not a learning curve, but I'm basically trying to kickstart my page. Pay to win social media version. Yeah, basically. I mean, it's investing. And I can write it off on my taxes as well. Pay to win social. Yeah. Who were your targets interest tab wise? My target interests were, feel free to critique it. The way that I set it up is through one campaign, 4 ad sets, and each ad set has a single ad. And that one ad is a panel from either Purgatory Academy, Just a Reaper, Let's Go Metal Hero, or Chimera Island. And on that tab, and on that ad, it's a panel and a caption for that panel that asks questions like, what do you like in a story? Questions like, what do you like in a story? Do you like fast-paced storytelling or slow-paced storytelling? Oh, somebody's calling me. No, that's my sister. That was an accident. Wait, is this an accident? Hold up. Alright, give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Give me a second. Alright, guys, give me a second. Let me just put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Sorry about this. I'll be right back. Okay. I fixed it. Parents might need to call me again. Sorry about that.
So where was I? I have one campaign, right? And that campaign has 4 ad sets: one for Chimera Island, Just a Reaper, Purgatory Academy, and Let's Go Metal Hero. And within that, I have one panel and a question that says, "What do you, like? What kind of stories you like?" Da 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 da. Just some very simple questions that pertain to storytelling, right? And what people like in stories. The the goal of that setup is to get people engaged with the ad, for people to respond to the ad, to like say, to answer the question. But people don't. But the problem was people didn't answer the question. They just followed. People, um, which is good for the sake of growing followers, because it's an ad that doesn't feel like an ad, right? I guess it hits that kind of scenario, because people say the best ads are the ones that don't feel like ads. I need to work on trying to get my cost per click, like not cost per click, but my cost per result to be as low as hopefully $3. Because if it's $3, then it's like really good. Normally, I've heard that the normal amount of cost per result is like 7. I need to do some research. I need to do some research because I want to get my cost per result down to 3. What's the average cost per results for what they call it, a Facebook follow campaign? Let me see how much. Maybe it's probably. Oh! No way. They say the average cost per result for a Facebook follower campaign typically ranges from $1.07 to $1.50 per follower. However, this cost can vary significantly depending on the industry targeting, ad quality. Optimized campaigns achieving as low as 50 cents per follower. Competitive industries seeing cost of $2 per follower or higher. Some advertisers report costs as low as 10 cents to 20 cents per follower, or broad audience that can attract way less engaged users. So I've been getting around like 10 to 20 cents. Sometimes on the low end, like sometimes 9 cents. But I want to go sub 10. I want to optimize my ad so I can get sub 10 cents per follow, right? That's where I am right now. And I think I'm going to stop when I get to, like I said, 500. So right now it's a game of optimization. And when I get to 500, then I'll go into the next stage, where is retargeting. That's the word that I was looking for before. Then I'll go into, wait, can you guys, yeah, you guys can hear me. Then I'll go into retargeting. Imagine me going off on all that and still, wait. Yeah, imagine me going off on all that and still not understanding if my mic was working. But yeah, so after that, I'll go into like retargeting, and then we'll see how good that retargeting is. And after retargeting, then it should boost my reach. And if all things are said and done, I will be invited within the monetization program, because from the monetization onwards, if things work out, then the algorithm will have an understanding of who would naturally like my content, and then it'll search out people or like-minded people from the seed audience, from the seed follower audience, so it can grow. And I'm not looking for a specific number to cap. Mason, your mic is off. After 40 minutes of explaining. Yeah. Yeah, and I do a whole bunch of like nostalgia critic, like, but like emotes. It was the best plan anybody could ever say, and I was like, oh, my mic was off. So yeah, that was my idea. No, but so after I have that seed audience, I'll do the retargeting campaign, so it will grow from that seed audience. Hey, F in the chat, I'm basically going in the middle of my scheme, my Facebook scheme, and there's no high number, there's no specific number that I'm going for with Facebook, as long as I'm able to go into the monetization program, find out what type of content work like performs the best, and then find ways to transform the comic into a certain content that will perform well. F in chat, Fin chat. Oh, Fin chat. I called you F in chat all the time. You never correct me. Fin chat. Okay. Anyway. So anyway. That's the goal. That is the goal. What was it? Yeah. To summarize everything, get the seed audience, retarget to the seed audience, to train the algorithm, and after the algorithm is trained, get into the monetization program. 1 mil is a good goal, right? I don't need 1 million, honestly. You really don't need 1 million. Like, that's more of a stretch goal, right? I think what I probably need is maybe 50,000. Like, a goal would be around 50,000 to 100,000. 50,000 to 100,000. So what avatar did you target? Do you have a network of Facebook cartoonist creators to exchange growth techniques, kind of like Mr. Beast did with YouTube when he got started? I'm sure there are Facebook groups to do that. I just haven't looked for it yet. Actually, let me look at that. Let me look for it. So, what avatar did you target? That's not the approach that I used, really. I know in the past you could target followers of other Facebook pages and groups. Yeah, you can do that in the retargeting campaign. You can follow people and friends of those people who followed you. Oh wait, that's target followers of other Facebook pages and groups. Yeah. Oh, actually, let me test that out. I read that again. I read it wrong, as per usual. Let me check. Let me do a fake boost. One thing that I don't like is when I schedule a post, it doesn't show up in my gallery. The reel shows up in the gallery, but not the other posts, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't really create an avatar. For some reason I'm not that imaginative to create an avatar. Because hold up, add info. I can people you choose through targeting, people you follow who follow your profile, or people who follow your profile, and people similar to them. That would be the one that I would go for. The page lookalike audience is a group. Wait, hold up. How leave? That's interesting. How many people do I need to make a look-alike audience Facebook? If it's 100, then I can go right now. I can do that right now. I need 100 people to make... Wait, from a single country. Shoot. From a single country. Shoot. Recommended for quality. Well, it's minimum. I think I would have to do that if I would do that if I reached like 500 or something. Because I could, well, I don't think I could be able to do that, to create a lookalike audience from the 100 people who are following my page, because I target it towards 5 different countries. And it needs 100 people, 100 profiles from the same country. And not only that, it wouldn't be a high quality lookalike audience either. It says for recommended quality, I need 1,000 to 5,000 from a single country. Why? Those are the rules. Those are the rules. I mean, you can show ads to those interest groups, yeah. Hold on. You asked me another. How much you bet this? Hold up. I thought somebody asked, what are these? Oh, the interest groups. Can you target a lookalike of another interest group? You would need... I just closed it. Shoot. I know you would need their emails or something like that. Something to give to Facebook. I mean, I just closed it. I had the answer and I just closed it. Let me open up my history. Yeah, I need emails, pixel events, or page engagements. I think it needs to be yours. I think it needs to be yours. I could be wrong though. Like people who followed or like Saturday AMs, for instance. I have never heard of that. Let me ask. Oh, like. Can you do that? Okay, so when I'm looking at a quick search, it's no. You can't do that from what I see. Yeah, you must own the seed. That's how I used to do it. Well, maybe. I don't know. Well, the quick research is like, it's telling me no. I don't know if they have that anymore. If they probably had that before, I don't know if they have that now. I know you can do that. Well, in terms of interest, you could do that with Google. from what I remember. If or Pinterest or Google, if you had a if you use like a Saturday AM tag for people who search Saturday AM on the search engine. But I don't think they have tag based or interest based search like that on Facebook. It's a little bit more broad to help guide the algorithm to people who like said content. I made shirts and targeted cheaper pages, followers. Like I targeted people who liked or followed. Okay. Let me see. Target. Oh. Oh. I'm trying to look at it. I'm trying to like I'm using a like all these answers are AI generated, so take it with a grain of salt. But it seems like if they did it before, they probably took it down. They probably said no, because I say direct targeting of specific Facebook group members is not possible in Meta Ads Manager, because groups are not available as a targeting option. To reach these audience, advertisers must use indirect strategies or third-party tools. So if that was possible before, it doesn't seem possible now. Directly. So now the way that they use lookalike audiences is that you need to own the seed audience. Either it's through your the meta pixel of people who visited your website, or the followers on your Facebook page, or their emails. So if you have any of those, that is your seed audience, and you need like 100. Like I said, you need 100 minimum. Recommended 1,000. So I think $1,000 is going to be a little bit too pricey for me. So I'm going to try to reach 500. So da 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 da. That's 15, 30. Yeah, so that should be 75. So there's no interest tab anymore. Weird, that's lame. Like there are interests tabs, but it's super broad. It is super broad. They have interest for some properties, but if they're really popular, like there's a My Hero Academia interest tab. There is a Bleach interest tab, Naruto, Hunter x Hunter, stuff like if it's like really in the West, if it's like really popular, like Disney, like certain Disney movies, like Zootopia. I used Zootopia in like manga or whatever. Okay, yeah, they have that. I know I use like Zootopia as like a Chimera Island interest tab. Zootopia and Hunter x Hunter for the Chimera Island interest tab, and just Marvel, DC, that kind of stuff for Let's Go Metal Hero and Just a Reaper. I know I put an Adult Swim interest tab for Just a Reaper as well. So it's stuff like that, and it doesn't really target. From what I've heard, the Facebook algorithm, they don't specifically target people who like that. It is a starting point. And they say that that the algorithm will leave that starting point. Yeah, it will leave that starting point if it finds somebody who is cheaper, who can give you more bang for your buck. So right now, my ads are in the middle of the learning phase, and right now they're doing really freaking good. The CTR is like really freaking good. But CTR is nice. Like high CTR is nice, but all I really care about is that low click through. Is that low cost per click in any of the 5 tier 1 countries? That's what I'm going for. Just the lowest cost per click in the tier 1 countries. If I just wanted, if I just wanted straight up mass, like if I wanted, dude, if I wanted a million followers, I would go to just tier 2 or tier 3 countries, and all of the engagement would just be straight up not in English. B, I'll be getting people from. It'll look good for vanity metrics, I'll tell you that, but I would not be able to make money off of it, like at all, Like tier 2 countries would be like, not even Spain. What are tier? I know tier 3 is like the absolute no go, like Singapore, like Indonesia and India and Pakistan. Those are like tier 3 countries that are just straight up no go. I'm looking for tier 2. What counts as tier 2? Okay, so tier 2, I was right. So Brazil, Mexico, Turkey, Thailand, Poland, Portugal, Malaysia, the Philippines, Japan, interesting. South Korea, Singapore, the UAE, and various CIS and Latin America nations. Oh, purple face crying. Japan is so weak economically, but in my thing, yeah, it's Japan is weak economically, but they are the. I remember when I was doing research, the countries that have the biggest market share in just comics is it was the U.S. Well, it was South Korea, Japan, and China. Like U.S. is up there, and U.S. and Canada and the U.K. are up there, but like Japan, South Korea, China are pretty up there. Russia, not really. USA, France, China, Japan, yeah. And only one of them speak English, so only one of them speak English. Only one of them is a tier 1 country out of those 4. So unless I have somebody willing to translate in French or Japanese or or like traditional Chinese Mandarin, like terms of population plus local economic industry. Yeah. So if I even wanted to break in, that's going to be super difficult. I feel like if I even want to break in or find people that would actually like it, it's going to be probably pretty difficult. I don't know how difficult it would be, actually. Don't know how difficult it would be. Japan is fourth economically talking in the world, so I don't know what you're saying GDP. GDP wise. Oh yeah, if Japan dies, like a lot of things die. A lot of things globally will die. So thank Japan, everybody. I want everybody in the chat to thank Japan. But yeah, that's real. That's real though. At one point, Japan was second after the USA, and now they are declining. They've been in decline since the 80s, from what I know, since the 80s. India will take the fourth place before 2030. Yeah. I was thinking, what is India producing? But then I was like, oh, wait, they just have a lot of people. And they're pretty much weaseling into. Well, they are being forced into Canada. Well, they are being like forced. Well, yeah, they are being forced into Canada and America. Because H-1Bs in welcoming a new slave class to undercut the Native Americans. So it is what it is. India has 1.4 billion Indians. India and Canada. Indians in Canada. 100 million Indians in Canada here. Yeah. Telecommunications and VAs. It's all it is to undercut the natives. And it's not great. It's not great. It ain't sweet. It ain't sweet. But yeah, it's kind of funny because I was thinking about what was it? What was it? What was that guy? What was his name? Ah, I'm so angry. I forgot his name. The guy that I planned. Well, anyway, what I'm trying to say is going global is a lot easier now to do now than it was back then. Canada will be the India, and and the USA is to Israel. We don't have Israelis coming to the U.S. We are exporting Israelis to but we're not importing people from Israel. That's the thing. If anything, we've exported Polish or European Jews to Israel. America and Britain did that after World War II. So, and then they've been living off of America ever since the 40s. Yeah, ever since after World War II, so the 40s, 50s. So yeah, it's a different situation. It's a different situation. Besides, what India is doing to Canada, they do want to do it to America because we do have an APAC for India. That means in terms of control, Israelis have dual nation, English and Israeli second most common language. It used to be Russian. It used to be Russian. That makes sense. And it's all terrible. It's all terrible. Let me save this and close it to save on resources. Like who could have foreseen this? I'm pretty sure everybody knows what a tier 3 country is. But yeah, as I was saying, it's so easy, very easy to have a global reach. And when you have the global reach, you realize you don't need a global reach. you know, you don't need a global reach. You just need, because everybody around the world, they know that they want to be big in America. Because when you're big in America, you are set. You are set. And if you speak English, yo, it's like anybody who's making manga or like those mana or whatever. Like if you have an English speaking audience and like the 5 tier 1 countries, you're set. You're good. India could dump 400 million Indians in the U.S. could become the majority race, and still have 1 billion Indians at home. Yeah. Yeah. I know the amount of numbers is crazy there. And I remember hearing a concept in India called ISAT, which is the craziest thing that I've heard. That it's the craziest thing my Western mind can comprehend. Did Young Wavy ghost you again? No. Young Wavy messaged me saying that he's willing to do a collab in the bit. Why did I get kicked out of Instagram? Young Wavy said he wanted to do a collab early August. So he didn't ghost me this time. He might, like, if anybody mentions it in the collab, he's probably going to say that he didn't get it. He didn't get my email, which is whatever. He's going to join the collab now so we can talk about business, and how to move forward. So I'm looking forward to that. G4 says, just like K-pop, they started in Korea, but once they touched the American market, it became global. Now they are addicted to American dollars, and Korean fans becoming complaining from neglect. Business. Yeah, that's just how it is. That's just how it is. That's literally how it is. Yeah, everybody wants to be big in America. Because the dollar stretches far. The dollar stretches far. Like even when Japan wants to make media, like for video games for a while, they knew they couldn't ignore the American audience. So it's usually Japan first, then how can we alter it to appeal to the Americans, the burger people, and then Europe later. Then, I don't know, Europe, worldwide, whatever. That's how it goes. Okay, let's see if I can try to sketch this out a little bit. Come on, work with me. Please work with me. Jeez. This is pain. Dude, this is pain. The DPI is at 300. It shouldn't be this bad. Dude, I might have to hold off of streaming like anything until I figure out what's going on with my PC. This is changing though. Look at the Niza film. It's the highest grossing animation film of all time, and it's made in China for the Chinese audience. Well, actually, in America, in the American cinema, the Chinese audience is the largest audience. Why is it saying I'm a bot? What's going on? It's Niza too, actually. Okay. Yeah. So for a long time, China has been the America's second largest demographic, to the point where when you see censorship in a lot of movies, it's usually because China has a lot of money. There's a lot of people and a lot of money. China's animation industry overtook America. Even after the pandemic, they banned Marvel movies, so now their own locally made cinema is beating Hollywood movies. Yo, good for them. Good for them. Honestly, they banned Hollywood movies after the pandemic. Honestly, that's awesome. I'm glad. Good for them. I would too. Hollywood movies, yeah. Good for them. But I was like talking about old. Well, I guess I was talking about. I guess everything that I've been told was a old news. Cause my mind was still at the first Black Panther, um, the Star Wars trilogy with Rey. I didn't know after the pandemic they stopped or they banned Hollywood movies. I wish it was still. I wish that will force Hollywood to start producing good movies again to survive and stop censoring for China. To survived and stop censoring China. Censoring for China. Actually, no. That's not gonna. I don't have high hopes that's gonna happen. I mean, Niza was heavily institutionally pushed by the Chinese government, though. It was a great movie. I do not freaking think that's a bad thing. I feel like America should do the same thing with their movies, but not now. Not now, because I know if America started doing stuff like that at the current state that we are in, where we don't have a national identity anymore, it's going to be terrible. It's going to suck. Well, I guess we already do, because from the critiques that I've heard, the general critiques that I've heard of like the latest blockbuster of the Christopher Nolan Odyssey movie, it is pretty much a there was like a YouTuber that said something along the lines of it's basically washing out history, like the Western literature. The Top Gun Maverick is the most Americana movies I've seen in the 2020s. Oh yeah, there was that too. Top Gun Maverick. I've heard that did well. That's like an outlier. I feel like that's an outlier, but I can't spend too much time on this topic because I don't know that much. I honestly do not know that much. All I know is what negative things people have said, because I cannot listen to anybody talk positive about anything. Niza is heavily in the roots of their culture, as it's based on a god from of the Chinese pantheon, whatever they call them. Yeah, they're yeah the. I think it's that is what America pretty much lacks right now, is a connected myth that everybody can get behind. Because right now, the connected myth of America is World War II. Apparently, Spider-Man: Brand New Day premiered. Oh yeah, that's probably gonna do well. That's probably gonna do well, man. I I can't. There's so many movies I can watch, but there's not a lot of movies I feel like watching. You know what I mean? Because I'm so burnt out. I am so burnt out on, and I don't trust anybody to tell a movie that's, it can be good in the sense of being well made. I don't think it's going to be nourishing. America is globalization. Yeah. That's unironically, yeah, is globalization. Like there is no, America is the epitome of, well, modern America is the epitome of no more culture. There is no culture. There is only one culture, and that is the global culture. That is, and don't ask who runs globalization, because it's not the people. I'll tell you that. It sounds so nice when you don't think about it, of who rules globalization. Who pushes globalization to begin with? Who thinks it's a good idea? For what ends? Global financiers, global bankers. Yeah. The people who fund these movies, who do not see a nation as a people, but only see nations as ideas. As a history buff, I lean more morbid curiosity about Odyssey than genuine hope. Than genuine hope. What do you mean by that? Fin chat? F in the chat? Speak your mind, Finn. Speak your truth. Wait, I gotta check my. I should really check the Wait, are they still calling? Okay, they stopped calling. Well, they're still calling. Wait, hold up. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Give me a second. Did the call start again? Sorry. My dad is having the worst experience switching service providers. The worst experience. All right, where's everything? There we go. Dude, why are there so many people here, and I'm not gone? Should I just like have an empty stream for the majority of the day, and then just bank off of the watch time that way? All right. Anyway. Anyway. Russia, I don't know. But Putin came to L.A. and we removed the city flags and replaced them with his. So also shipped out a bunch of homeless people in a high desert area and cleaned the streets. Real nice for his visit. Yeah, dude, it's like, it's annoying. It's so annoying. It's like, whatever. PR and advertising has made me think of the Odyssey as a train wreck more than a good adaptation of a classic, if you know what I mean. Well, I've heard that the way that the adaptation of the Odyssey is not from a, like, he adapted the Odyssey from a woman of like some woman scholar, some feminist woman scholar, and not one of the older like traditional interpretations or translations of the work. So his view that he translated the Odyssey from is from a absolutely interesting perspective, to say the least. So that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. G4, by 2040, Asian Americans as a group will overtake Black Americans, which will become the minorities. Minorities, a minority, and the U.S. will become a multi-majority country with white falling below 50%. Yeah, well, where are you getting that from? Because, like, Latin America, well, yeah, Latin Americans are pretty much are gonna overtake it before Asian Americans, I'm sure. Because of the crazy amount of immigration and how the government will refuse to deport anybody and have a immigration moratorium. Like, people, the reason why people focus on Mexico so much is because they are literally in our backyard. And I know the leftists, they want to say, well, why don't you worry about Canada? There are Canadian immigrants. It's like, yeah, from what I've heard, Latin America has already more than black since a decade. They're 18%. Yeah, nobody really talks about them. Nobody really talks about like the Latin Americans. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, and there's a lot of, yeah, yeah, a lot of decay. A lot of decay going on. There's a lot of decay going on. It's gonna be the U.S. is a Latin American country. It just doesn't realize it. Just like what Bad Bunny said in a halftime show. I mean, it kind of feel it. No, not gonna lie, it kind of feels like it when you go to areas and you just see more Spanish than when you see Spanish alongside English, and you're like, this is interesting. This is weird. This is interesting. But it's what it is what the bourgeois wants. It is the will of the bourgeois. It's not the will of the government, the will of the bourgeois. And that's kind of why I can't really take a lot of people serious when people say like the system is racist. And I'm like, against who? Because everybody against who really? Because everyone's getting screwed over. It's just it just needs soccer as the most popular sport, and the transformation will be complete. The Infinity Stones of a Latin America of Latin America. Wait, who? Hmm. Who is saying that's Christina? So wait, let's see what happened in the previous panel. What's on your Twitter feed these days? I wish it was local news. I try to stay off Twitter. I wish it was. I wish it was what's popular. Well, actually, I kind of don't. I kind of don't. I hate what's popular. I hate popularity. Uh, Glamite launches Pepsi flavored body wash and scrub. Don't care. Uh, Fans mark 15 years of Thundercats 2011 reboot. Don't care. Kind of don't care. Somebody made an English patch for the Gantz game for the PS2. I care about that. That's pretty cool. Uh, Katy Perry was trapped in a gigantic plastic bottle because her fans refused to roll her back on stage. Kinda don't care. Good for her. A Pixar used Elastigirl to notify California State to. Oh yeah, Pixar used Elastigirl letterhead to notify California State officials that over 100 employees will lose their jobs. The affected employees are scheduled to leave the company on September 26th. Boo. Uh, I don't want to trivialize people losing their jobs for movies I'm not gonna watch. For movies. Oh yeah, they are making an Incredibles 3. And there's no time skip. They're gonna make an Incredibles 3 with no time skip. GOG Galaxy's coming to Linux. Too bad that I already
Well, that might be good for me. Like this is what I go through when I go through Twitter. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. Don't care. You should do like Asmongold and bookmark interesting news for a stream during empty time. That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough because I don't care. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be tough. Oh, that yo, it's I'm like, don't care. Oh, they're getting fired. Good. Everybody, everybody should be out of the job except for me. Oh my gosh, this nigga. No, I'm sorry. I just saw a picture of the weekend, and he has a tattoo of the nurse from Persona 5, and I'm like, I hate tattoos. It's stuff like that that makes me hate tattoos from the very core of my soul. Like, there should be a tax on getting cat tattoos. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there needs to be some institutional. No, no. There shouldn't be a tax. Actually, there should be propaganda against having them. There should be. I would be 110% for government propaganda against having tattoos. Because I'm so tired of everybody treating their body like it's a bathroom stall. Their freaking skin like it's a bathroom stall and just putting anything on it. It should be shamed. Yeah, but I can't really see it. People are making a someone making a Nintendo 64 upscaled console. Good for them. Richard Horvitz 60th birthday. Good for him. Yeah, it's all boring. It's like, yeah, I wish there was like nothing but great news, interesting things happening. Macaulay Culkin wants to make another Home Alone. No, we don't need it. Sorry. Thank you for your service. We had 3 movies. Tattoos should be considered skin pollution. Yes. I'm just against tattoos. Sonic the Hedgehog Blade of Courage arrives in What is Blade of Courage? Is that a comic? Yeah, it's a comic. I mean, shout out to Sonic the Hedgehog and the Western audience keeping Sonic the Hedgehog alive. Yeah, shout out to them. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. Oh yeah, more. What was it? Coyote versus Acme. I absolutely hated every single. I absolutely hated every single person who would talk about that movie. Is Twitter worse now that Elon Musk bought it? I mean, I wasn't making money on Twitter before Elon Musk bought it, and I'm not making money on Twitter after Elon Musk bought it. So it is whatever. It is what it is. I know people would say, well, I know after Elon Musk bought it, there were, I remember there were news articles talking about how there has been way less CP reported on the platform, which is pretty cool.
good for Elon for cracking down on that. But just the but for a long time, the general amount of pornography that's just been advertised on the platform has just been exponential. Apparently, it's down 30% in users. That's just people still go there. No, well, people still go there to siphon the memes off of that platform, and the amount of users that are on there is kind of irrelevant to me. I kind of don't care because I don't have a stake in the profitability of X, especially. I remember when they wanted to be like, it's the free speech platform. Everybody, free speech is the biggest Trojan horse I've ever heard in politics. I love it when anybody wants to talk about free speech being an objective good, like just an unquestionable good. And I'm like, no, sorry guys, free speech isn't for everybody. You give everybody free speech, then you realize that how nobody wants it. I feel like the memes come from TikTok now rather than X. True. True. I mean, it's a cross feed. When I'm not on X, when I'm not on Twitter, like when I go on Facebook or whatever, I see people take screenshots from Twitter. And when I'm on Twitter, I see people take memes from TikTok. So it's a whole bunch of. Well, it's all for engagement farming. There are several. No, you can go on Facebook right now, create a page, and just repurpose other people's content on Twitter, just other popular content on Twitter, post it on Facebook, and then you'll get engagement because it worked on because you know that that post that you're posting had engagement before, and that's how legitimately how people make money, like thousands of dollars, hundreds and thousands of dollars off of Facebook, just by repurposing memes that they find on Twitter or Reddit. They go to ChatGPT and say, "Yeah, we'll put this in another words," or find a funny caption to use this, and they would just post it on their page, and they just profit off of that. When somebody say free speech, I used to think it was a good, but now retarded people are spewing dumb stuff. I became demoralized to the average Joe's IQ. Yeah, it's free speech. I love it. I love it when people say free speech. I'm like, yo, you have not been hurt bad enough. You haven't been. And I'm like, you have not been hurt bad enough. you, it's like that Streetlight Manifesto song. They said it hurts too much. I say you never hurt enough. That's just the way that it goes. Dude, I need to get I need to get a new CPU. That thing better come in soon. Like I am so upset that the cooler is coming in August 4th. And I'm like, why is it taking so long? And they say like, I think it's because of the weather. Yeah, I'm looking at the CPU right now. Like, it wasn't always like this. I'm looking at the CPU right now, and it keeps peaking at like 90 to 100. Yeah, I just can't. I can't draw. I can't work under these conditions. Yeah, I'm seeing my CPU peak from like 40% to 80% to 90%. Like, yo, what is going on? Do I have to reapply this the thermal paste? have no clue. Where does the obsession with free speech come from? It's an appeal to the founding fathers. It's an appeal to the First Amendment. And when you appeal to the founding fathers of America, you are seen as you are seen as of their ilk in wanting America to be prosperous, right? And people who obsess over free speech, they are posing the idea that they espouse virtues that are self-evident, that the people who do not see the virtues of concepts like free speech or private property cannot comprehend, because the founding fathers of America believe so. And if they made America, if they discovered and they not discovered, if they basically set the foundations of America, then you are aligning to those demigods, those historical demigods, who honestly couldn't even imagine a world where anybody who isn't a freed white man of good moral character could ever have a single say in a country, let alone be a naturalized citizen. So that's where the obsession comes from. It's part of the American identity. But that identity has been bastardized and kind of forgotten about. Well, mostly bastardized over the years. Because the moral fabric of America has decayed. So right now, the amendments is only used as a tool to punish your enemies. That's only what it's good for. Lamai says free speech was never free. We had obscenity laws, and people knew not to break the contract. The social contract, or else they will be shunned or arrested. We need to tighten up our obscenity laws. Yeah. Nowadays, free speech is just code for I want to harass black people on the street, calling them the N-word, or I want to share my fetish and not get laughed at. Yeah. Just LOL libertarian. Law libertarian. I remember when Vivek says Americans are lazy. The only reason why Vivek is where he's at is because he is an Israel shill. That's pretty much it. He's where he's at because he attended the Shabbat dinners with J.D. Vance. That's the only reason why Vivek has a say in literally anything, because nobody ever wants him in the position that he's in. He got there because of nepotism. Not by family, but by technically being an anchor baby. Well, not technically. He is legitimately an anchor baby. His dad's not even a naturalized citizen. And using that technicality to be an American on paper. And in practice, I suppose. An American, I say in quotation marks. But enough an American to brown nose the right amount of people, to the point that if he says a word, people know what he says now, which is crazy. Which is insane. Would literally not... That kind of idea would never be in the minds of the founding fathers. like, that is crazy. Like, that concept, those string of events would be literally unthinkable in the times of the founding fathers. You know what I mean? Like, birthright citizenship was for slaves. Not for people who took a birth tourism to America, plop out a baby, and say, "Yeah, this is an American." Are you more of an MLK or a Malcolm X type of guy? I'm more of a Malcolm X type of guy. Like, I'm more of a Malcolm X type of guy, honestly. Like, mostly, and the reason why I'm a Malcolm X type of guy because the civil rights movement being pushed by MLK, it was, it really was a tool by Israel, honestly. Before Harling or after? Hardlining or after? Wait, before hardlining or after? What are your? Can you specify that a little bit more? I'm not an like the main reason why I'm not an MLK guy because he was pretty much a tool for Israel to the point where my dad. I think I told this story before, but my dad when he went to the White House, he was invited to the White House as a plus one between a lot of a congregation of several black churches in America. There, he was at a conference where a guy was a representative of Kufi, Christians United for Israel, was trying to have a propaganda push for black preachers in America to get their congregation to be for Israel. And my dad, I kid you not, said that one of the representatives says black people should be for Israel because we wouldn't have civil rights without it. We wouldn't have civil rights without the work of the Jewish people, and the Jewish people are also of Israel. So we like the black Americans. So in a roundabout way, the pitch was since black Americans are or have the same rights as whites, they own it. They wouldn't have that unless it was for Israel, or if it was unless it wasn't for Jews, and specifically it wasn't specifically Jews. So to do the Jews a solid, we have to support them in Israel. That was the whole bread and butter of the pitch that he was talking about. And Martin Luther King was pretty much one of the pawns. Malcolm X was pretty woke to those connections. He was pretty woke to those connections. Let's see. Ben Franklin wrote that he wanted America. Ben Franklin wrote that he wanted America to be only for white and red people, and he did not consider Germans to be white. That reminds. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's so funny. Like that reminds me that of those white nationalist guys on YouTube, Frojax, who they're German, like they're German American. They have German stock, like half German stock, and they will when you try to tell them that it was supposed to be for a specific type of white person, they're like, no, the founding father. There are so many. One of their rhetorical appeals is that was there when it comes to the signing of the Declaration of Independence. There were several people. There were people from all over Europe, from different type of European stock. So if you want to appeal to one founding father, they can always go to another founding father to say, well, I like this guy. It's kind of like denominations of Protestantism. If you don't like one branch of thought, you can always go to another branch of thought, like to say, well, I like this guy. I don't really like that guy. So you can so it's pretty much funny. It's pretty funny. You watch Frojax, LMAO. I see them debate black people. I heard they used to be musicians, but dude, if you actually listen to a single song that Frojax made, it is so. I'll just say this. They really want to make some black music. Like, I'm just gonna say, if you actually went out and looked for one of their songs, for the amount of times they want to talk about black people and they're in the negative influence, it really shows in their music. It really they really love black influences in music. It's so it's like huh, interesting just delusional. Play it on stream. I wonder if it'll get my stream blocked. Okay. YouTube. It's like, I'm like, he's like, yeah, we're musicians. Like, oh, what kind of music you make? And it's trap. And I'm like, dude. I'm like, brother. I'm like, huh, maybe my brother's just another me. I hope they didn't take it down. Please, 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 please. Please. YouTube. Please. Oh, this is it. This song is called Money Talks. Money Talk. Money Talk. Like, Money Talk. Pretty white, pretty German. Money Talk, isn't that like, what, German? Isn't that, I think that's, isn't that Celtic? I don't know. Give me a second. Give me a second.
Yeah, money talk, all we know is money talk. Pockets so deep, baby, now I got a funny walk. I kill the beat and then I write my rhyme in bloody chalk. They say time is money when my watch has got 100 rocks. Me and my brother dangerous. We write our rhyme using so much lingo that it's sounding like another language. It's money talk, another word.
Money Talk, pretty Celtic. Yo, this is like the inverse of like the last room I had with Matt saying, you know what, my last name's McKinney, so I'm obviously Irish. Like, you know, this is like, yo.
Words are priceless. Blood, sweat, and tears are what I had to earn my stripes with.
She says she can't stand it when I glow, 'cause all these biddies ripping off their panties in my shows. And Pamela Anderson said I'm handsome, and I know.
Oh yeah, I know my favorite white rapper, Snoop Dogg. You know, like, dude's trying to buy off Snoop Dogg's flow. You know, the whitest rapper I ever known. Snoop Dogg.
When it's hot up in this kitchen, get your hands up off the stove and dropping the top of the rocket, I hop in and go. I'm dropping the bombs, I'm Osama bin Laden and flow. I'm popping the collar, you're popping the molly and broke. I'm robbing the lobby and copping the watch full of gold.
Yes. Okay, yeah. Yep. That's all. Yep. Listen. If I ever see Frojax, I'm gonna be like, listen, dap it up, come on. Like, I know, I get it. You like we. It's like, listen, you're just a brother, but another. I understand. I get it. You're just another brother. Come on. One of the black guy they debated against them need to use that against them. Oh my gosh. That's what was it, an ad hominem? That really has nothing to do with their arguments. But no, I think the best debate that they had, or the best conversation they had with a black person was with Andre Williams, and that one pissed me off. Because I think the one instance of that podcast that made my blood boil was Andre Williams going on his general thing saying, yeah, I'm trying to like make the black community better by calling out the foolishness. And Frojax said, they said something along the lines of, why should the white men care if the black people like better their community? And the reason why that made me mad was because they invited the guy on. How can you invite a guy on and say, why should we care? Like, you know what I mean? How can you invite a man on and say, I do not care for your plight to better your community? In fact, you're all going to go. All black people are going to be deported. All non-whites are being deported. And I'm like, it's crazy. Not only that, there's another instance where they want to go really hard on the complete mass deportation of non-whites. And when you have black people who agree with them on 90% of everything, except for the mass deportations, though, like, their response is, well, La Raza, the Mexican gangs would have the same position, so why are you so different from them? I'm like, dude, these people cannot believe, these people do not know how, they cannot form a correlation. They cannot. Like, that just, all seriousness was just thrown out the window. Because saying stuff like that, it makes you an enemy when you don't need to be. It's like, yeah, you could have had an ally that agrees with you with a lot, like 90% of things, but because you're like, and you got to go back, they want to play the power trip game. That's another thing. That's another thing that I hated about that whole interaction. It was because they had an error. They had a approach where they wanted Andre to plead for a spot in America. And Andre didn't fall. Like, I felt that Andre didn't fall for it. But they kept asking, they kept posing their questions or talking as if they wanted Andre to beg that black Americans to be a part of America in this weird power trip fantasy of deporting every non-white. That's crazy. And after I saw that, I completely understood. I completely understood why they want to go after people who have a low tolerance for their ideas, because it's easier to make them mad and it's easier to get clicks off of them. So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. So every time I think after that Andre Williams debate, at first I was like, okay, these guys have some controversial takes, but sure, I'll listen to them because they're interesting. Not only that, I absolutely, one of the things, it's such a small and minute thing, but these guys they're deists. And deists are pretty much, deists on paper, they are people who believe in a higher power, but in practice, they are just atheists that appeal to Christians. Let's be real. Their audience are white, most likely most likely Christian, a little bit of pagans because they're like white first. But I know at the end of every one of their videos, they sign it off with God bless. And I'm like, what God are you talking about, dog? You guys don't even believe in a God. So that's why I know they're just courting Christians. They're just courting Christians to have these. I don't know, like you know what I mean? Like I just like that's just all I gotta say about that. It's just annoying. It's just annoying to me. That had a sour taste in my mouth. Like, haven't had a Sour Patch Kid like that. I haven't had a lemon. That was so crazy. That made me go like, ugh, dang, ugh. You know what I mean? So disingenuous. Okay, yeah. Well, so disingenuous. They spend their whole career talking about black people. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And I think when it comes to talking about, I remember one of the brothers, they also made a video for, it was like a case for mass deportation or whatever. And generally, it just kind of boiled down to what he said to, like, I don't know, James Fishback, and he says if it's gonna go down to an unruly daughter or a ruly other, they're going to actually when it goes down to an unruly daughter or an unruly other, he's going to side with the kin, with the unruly daughter, because that's his kin at the end of the day. But they really like to skirt the idea of the like I know what you said, like they call the other people nons. It's just shorthand for non-whites. Do you want to say people of color or colored people or not? like you could say people of color or colored people or whatever, or non-whites. Honestly, I understand the term non-white in the terms of like this conversation because that's their audience. That's the audience that they want. But anyway, like they always dodge the idea of of how to deal with the ruly other. And I remember they keep saying that mass deportations was the most moral thing to do. And I'm thinking, moral? Okay, so A, moral by what standard? You don't even believe in a God. Second, moral how? It's specifically when it comes to people who follow the laws, who are willing to integrate to this society as soon as it finally understands what does it mean to be a member of that nation, right? And the way that they always skirt away from it is saying there's too much of that demographic, of a specific demographic, of any demographic, that does not assimilate. So the outliers don't matter. So if you're sending the outliers away from the riffraff, you're basically killing the outlier. You're forcing them from their home, the place that they already know, with everybody. You're throwing the baby out with the bathwater, which is crazy. Anyway, Lamai says here's my argument. My black family has been here longer than most white immigrants. Part of my DNA and tied to the land. What are you going to deport me? Like 3 hours away to the next city? That was Andre Williams' position. That was Andre Williams' position, because he's African, like he's African American, like foundational Black American, and he's part like Native American, like Indian Native American. So there is nowhere that he could really go because he has blood to this, like natively to this soil, before any of the European colonizers. So the whole, and that's why I don't give the mass deportation idea any resemblance, because it's not it's an interesting thing to think about, but it's not imaginative. It's interesting in the fact of it's as interesting as the concept of Thanos snapping half of everybody off of the face of the earth, of thinking what would happen or what would happen in a zombie apocalypse, because it's not likely. In the sense of America, it's like not likely. And not only that, the position that they put forth is not imaginative. Because when you say that, there's no line of thinking that would make you. There's no line to make you think about. Okay, let me get my door. My dad's knocking. I'll be right back. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, it's not imaginative. Like, as I was saying, it's not imaginative because they can't... There's too many details, important details, that would prevent people from, A, being on their side, and B, it actually going into place. So, it's literally... I don't like those guys. They're probably nice people, but their ideas are terrible. They give me hope to, I don't know, go live and speak my opinions because, I don't know, anybody with a mic can say any nonsense nowadays. And that's kind of encouraging for me until I get mine and I can just gatekeep any terrible opinion, I guess. Until I can keep any terrible opinion. So G4 says, how do you think they would feel about someone like you? Like, would they try to provoke you by saying that Christianity is a white man's religion, or people like you who are nuns who don't deserve to live in the U.S.? If I were to do like a Baki style shadow boxing, which I typically do, I can imagine them trying to provoke. I imagine them going like an Andre Williams route, where they would try different ways to provoke my ideas. Because another thing that I noticed when they did the Andre Williams things is that they absolutely hate any sniff of civic nationalism, anything that that reminds them of civic nationalism. Like they're like, only this demographic in America, nothing else. So the idea that anybody that is not of that demographic following the rules just smells like civic nationalism to them, so they reject it. So you can't really have a conversation with them because they do not want to entertain the idea of how to make a functioning society, because they think that the only way to make a functioning society is just with a one demographic of people, which is, I understand where they come from, because they always point towards places like Japan, or like in one of their videos, I think it was like they brought forward towards an idea like Malaysia, where they have so many different ethnicities that lives there, but they need strict top-down like enforcement by the government to make sure every ethnicity or different like people with different religious affiliations need to live in harmony. Like a very harsh top-down idea, and that's not appealing to him because he doesn't believe that it invokes the American spirit, or it's an unnecessary precaution to have a high trust society, when they believe that if you just want to have a high trust society, you're just gonna like the best way to ensure a high trust society is a homogeneous people. So he doesn't talk about what people can do in the now. It mostly talks about, it's like Communist Manifesto talk, where it's a lot of armchair philosophy, that he doesn't talk about how things can put into place so I can entertain those ideas. Just, wouldn't it be nice? It's all just, it can be like replaced with like John Lennon's like Imagine. You know what I mean? He just he can make a case, and all those things can make sense. Yeah, sure, in a vacuum. But we live in the real world. You know, we live in the real world where there are too many like strings tied to our actions and consequences. But whatever. But yeah, when it comes like if they invited somebody like me on, I don't think it would be interesting. I don't think it would be entertaining because they're gonna probably want to make me mad by either, like you said, I wouldn't even say Christianity is a white man's religion. They probably wouldn't claim that because they're not Christian. If anything, they might even think Christianity, like, actually no, they're not Adam Green-pilled. They're not Adam Green-pilled because they do recognize what historically what Europeans have done with Christianity, right? So, and like they recognize that. So I don't think they would take a dig at it. If I would say something like Christianity is black, then they'll be like, well, historically, no. Right? So the only thing that they would probably try to get me on is saying that I would have to go back. That's probably it. Or just saying that I don't deserve to live in America because I am not of European stock. That's probably it. And I'm like, if I want to entertain that idea, like the whole thing was just trying to entertain that idea, right? Like that would be it. And it wouldn't be for me. Sure, we would go back and forth of, actually, I don't like appealing to the founding fathers because it's over. It's literally, we are out. It's cool that they were able to make a civilization, turn like the 13 colonies into like the United States of America, like within enough time. That's awesome. They did an amazing job with it. But we are at a post-truth society. The people are no longer of good character. We are at a vastly different point of America that the founding fathers could never imagine, right? So I believe America really needs a new mandate of what it is and how to establish it. And they would probably go like, yo, yeah, it's gonna be just white people. And it's like, there's nothing to talk about. Unfortunately, there's just gonna be nothing to talk about with them. Anyway, Lamai says, these idiots like to cry blood and soil, but they don't want to apply it to blacks or the natives because it's inconvenient to them. Yeah, I agree. Or just push Christian nationalism. The country was based on Christian rights, right? So what is whiteness? Well, okay, going back to like the Christian nationalism. No, I can imagine them rejecting Christian nationalism because the obvious objection that I constantly hear from that is that it's just another form of civic nationalism. Or how can we know the Christian nationalism that we have isn't going to be like the perverted Christianity that is taking over the White House, that is siphoning millions and trillions of dollars to Israel and Ukraine and foreign nations. That's pretty much it. How would you establish a new mandate for America? China-style, like, political, like, China-style, enforcement. It would be a China-style enforcement, unfortunately. Like, I'm saying how I would do it. Imagine, like, if I was in the seat, it would be China-style enforcement. Like, America has been doing that for a long time. Specifically, they went the hardest in the 60s and 70s. But in the 60s and 70s, mostly through propaganda, anti-communist propaganda. Viblo stream. Viblo. Well, I can't read. Sorry. Viblo streamed. Hello. I like the Sackboy icon. That's nice. I still need to finish a single whatchamacallit, Little Big Planet. I played a lot of the one on the PSP and the PS Vita one. But I need to get back to like finishing those. Those are such a key enough series. I should probably play those games before I go to bed, actually. They're just so chill. New Mandate of Heaven, Mason Zedong. No, like, I really liked, like, in theory, like, China really had it down on lock when, I can't remember what happened specifically, but there was a ruler that showed in, and he had a mandate of, like, it's like an corruption policy, and a lot of people were just kicked out because he could do it. Like, Trump could do stuff like that, but he's just not gonna. He's not gonna. Yeah, I played back in the days on the PS4. My sisters. Man. PS4. There was how many Little Big Planets were there? I know there was one on the PSP, PS Vita. There was 3. I know 3 on the PlayStation. But were they all on the PS3? 1, 2, and 3? Because I don't remember a Little Big Planet on the PS2. Yeah, they had to... Dang. Back in the days where you can have, like, a trilogy on one system. Can never happen today. That kind of stuff can never happen today. That's my second mandate. That is going to be my second mandate. Entertainment. Nice drawing, bro. Thank you. I would draw a little bit more, but my PC is so terrible. I think my computer's dying out on me. Or all these programs are getting too expensive. So right now I'm just in a just chatting segment. Just chatting segment. Talking back and forth about not really politics, but what interests me specifically about America and the identity and stuff like that. But I try not to like go too hard on anything, right? I'm just trying to have fun. We try to have fun here. China is 2,000 years old civilization and managed 9 millions with KM2. So they had to reinvent themselves to survive. Yeah. Hath returneth. What's new? A lot of conversations. About a lot. You always go too far, but it's okay. Nobody would watch me if I didn't go too far. No, and that's what I'm talking about. I think the problem with Frojax is that they don't know what it means to be an American. Outside of they don't know what it means to be an American, or what do Americans produce? What does it mean to act like one? And even in America, it's technically 7 nations: the North, the South, the Midwest, the West, like the cardinal directions, the Bible Belt, Midwest. It's like all different. It's all different regions. How long have I been streaming for? Years. I've been streaming for a long time. Probably like since 2022. Probably that's how far back it goes. But I was streaming my comics. For my comics, Let's Go Metal Hero, Chimera Island, which is this one now, Purgatory Academy, and Just a Reaper. Like I work on like 6 to 10 pages of each comic. When my PC is healthy and when it wants to work, I need to open it up so I can see what I did wrong when it comes to connecting different wires, because I think I did something wrong when putting it back together. It shouldn't be acting like this. But anyway, so I usually work on 3 to 10 pages of like my comics while I stream, and I chat with the chat because it's fun performing my art when it wants to work and talking to people live. $2,000? Nah. Yeah, sometimes I hear the 2,000 years that China likes to espouse is propaganda of the Chinese the Chinese Communist Party. But hey, I've been to China before. I liked what I saw in China. I liked what I saw in China. I will not say anything bad about China. Well, I went to Beijing and Shanghai before COVID hit, but it's probably a way different animal now. No, they are just white gnats, and you can just be that back in Europe. That's my biggest thing. I'm like, if you want to be nationalistic, you want to go blood and soil, go back to Europe, please. Go back to Europe. If you want to be around your people, then deport yourself to Europe. That's it. Like, and I know you're going to love it because you're going to be with your people, but you won't because you have ties to the land, just like me. Like, whoa! But unlike me, I don't know where to go. Unless I did a 23andMe. And that's the thing. I would have to do a 23andMe to know where I'm from. Isn't that crazy? But whatever. Bro, I hope you fix your PC on the next stream. I saw how hard it was streaming the gaming yesterday. Man, I went so far on the game yesterday that it was fortunate that majority of the stream was cutscenes. I had to say that it was good. But oh man, earlier today, I was so like up to here with the narrative of Metaphor ReFantazio to the point where I had to go out of my way to look for people who actually like the game. And I found a YouTuber. I'm going to give him a shout out because I'm literally nobody. What was his name? It was Professor something. I gotta look at my again. Back to the history. No, not through my extensive research on Facebook. It's before. No, it was not yesterday. It was earlier today. It's loading. No, I can wait. No, I can just go on. Wait, no, hold up. Ah, shoot. Oh, wait. It's going to be... I'm joining with Levy. Levy wants to call, but it's like going to be like 20 minutes. It'll be like 20 minutes left in the stream. But if you still want to... Oh, man, I messaged him 10 minutes late. Professor Curry, Khury. I try to listen to him because he absolutely loves Metaphor ReFantazio. And I couldn't. I just could not do it. Because first things first, this guy talks like he's delivering an essay in MLA format, because when he wants to reference a philosopher, he names a philosopher and he doesn't really tie it into the game. I think the videos that I saw was Metaphor ReFantazio changed how I viewed life. It was a 10-minute video, and all he did was invoke a couple philosophers and said the mechanics of the game was pretty cool and lightly touched on what the game was about. I learned nothing about what he liked about the game other than the mechanics are good. Not really anything, and the narrative talked about things that he talked about. So I decided to watch a little bit of a longer video of the development of the Metaphor ReFantazio And he doesn't even go too deep into anything outside of the game talks about systemic oppression, racism, and XY, like all the typical things that you would expect like a black American to care about. Unfortunately, I'm a black American. Like, pause. I want to pause. I'm like, no. I didn't really think of that. I didn't really think that through. Like, I do not, unfortunately, fortunately, I do not have any, like, ties to racism or systemic oppression, right? So when I see that reflected in a video game, I expect to learn how things would get to be that way, or how people would form opinions that we find morally reprehensible. But when I play the game, it's nothing but, no, this thing is bad. Under what circumstance? Just vibes, I guess. Just vibes. But lo and behold, when I was listening to the first part of the making of a video, and the making of Metaphor Fantasio, the story has a lot of talks about like tribal differences coming together to reunite. But the main story, the main topic of Metaphor Fantasio is about overcoming your anxiety. And when I heard that, it made so much sense why a lot of the world building felt wide, vast as an ocean, but deep as a puddle. Because it wasn't about the world that they built in. It was just a backdrop to talk about overcoming your anxiety. And I'm like, you could do that with literally anything else. But they wanted to make it a fantasy because they wanted to build what a fantasy was from the ground up, and they ended up making another typical JRPG. And going back to the Professor Curry guy, he talks a lot about the philosophy and how, I remember there was another video. It was crazy. It was so I don't want to say pseudo intellectual because he does invoke a lot of studies, but it's the difference between citing a research and then citing research and other philosophers, and it's another thing to synthesize what you've learned from that research, from those philosophers, and what your opinions on a certain medium or a certain field of art, or a certain, I just said the same thing twice, on a certain medium, to explain to people what you liked about it and how well it executed on what it wanted to be, or how you perceived it was trying to do, if that makes any sense. So the first video was like the development of Metaphor Fantasio. That's how I was discovered by him. How Metaphor Fantasio saved my life, and Stop Waiting for Persona 6. Those were the 3 videos that I watched, and I was like, I'm kind of done with this guy. I can't listen to this guy at all. I couldn't do that. But going back to the America talk, Lamai says, and many of these African nations did not exist back then, and those tribes would not accept you because you are heavy mixed. You're heavy mixed and don't speak the language, or would have anyone who claim you. Exactly. So that mass deportation idea, they want to say it's cruelty. They want to say it's the most moral thing, but they, like I said, they have no imagination at all. So if they had imagination, they would realize that what they're doing is trying to sweep the problem under the rug and saying that it's dealt. It's not. It's It's like, you want to say something is moral while not having a god to pin that morality on, to trace that morality back to, and you're doing lazy thinking by saying that, yeah, this is the right thing to do, when you're pretty much ripping people from their homes, the only home that they know, to a foreign land just because you just don't like them. And you steal our music. And you steal our music. And you steal the. And you take heavy inspiration from the music. But that's neither here or there. Yeah, technically it's longer, but I meant as a unified state. Yeah. If I gave my honest opinions on YouTube essays, yeah, what? What do you mean? What are your honest opinion on YouTube essays? Please don't tell me. Please don't tell me he. Right. Hold up. Yeah, it's I can't. But going back to Metaphor Fantasia, I just can't. I I I'm not gonna say I want to like the game because I really like the game's mechanics. Like I told this to my friend earlier, Levy, like early today. Like the best way I can explain Metaphor Fantasio is like that Spider-Man meme when he's holding back the runaway train. The mechanics is Spider-Man, and the runaway train is the narrative. It's it's like that to me. But everybody loves the narrative of Metaphor Fantasio because it talks about the hot button issues that people want reinforced. But it doesn't do it well. Those are two completely different things. Doing something and then doing something well. But you know what? People get what they deserve, and it also goes back into why I can't be excited for anything new anymore. I can only hope that Persona 6 is going to be great narratively, but goodness gracious. Honestly, I think the only Persona narrative that I actually liked was 3. And that was that was 2 decades ago. That was a narrative that was 2 decades ago. Dang. Like 5 was alright. I guess. It was fun, but it didn't really hit me like 3. Okay, 50% of them are just college essay papers with typical introduction paragraphs that they want to stick around for about 10 minutes to get YouTube bonus revenue. Yeah, when you're making a YouTube video, there's a certain type of rhetoric that you have to bring to the table. And that rhetoric is a very face-to-face or usually a casual. I mean, it depends on what you want to talk about, right? If you want to talk about something serious, you're going to be a little bit serious, but there is an essence of being casual with the audience. Like if you know what sucks about that the Professor Curry guy? Like when I describe what I don't like about it, it sounds like he makes a normal video. It sounds like a normal video that I would absolutely like and gain something from. But the way that but the way that he invokes those names and philosophers and research, it doesn't tell me anything. It doesn't tell me that he learned anything from it. It feels like he's regurgitating what those words mean instead of how he interpretates those words to the topic that he's interested in, what he's talking about, Metaforia Fantasio, which that was my issue. That was my main issue with like his style of videos. But hey, he really likes it. I don't, but yo, it is what it is. I remember your One Piece is too long video that got great views. Yeah, 1,000 views. Unfortunately, I've written that out. I've written a script for that, and I voiced it. I put gameplay of what was it? One Piece burning something, burning blood, and I didn't like the process. I just didn't like I'm sorry. I just didn't like the process. I don't like recording my voice. I don't like typing down. I guess I did kind of like typing, maybe, but just recording and reading. You guys already know how bad I am with reading YouTube comments. How bad I am with reading your comments. It's like that. But take one little sentence and multiply that by 5 paragraphs, and you can tell how little patience I have, even for myself. I can speak when I'm on a roll. I can speak like nobody's business, just off the dome like that, if I care. If I can just straight up riff. And if I can't do that, I can usually, I don't even want to edit things down because I don't want to hear my voice. Even though it gets 1,000 views, I can do it left, right, and center. I would rather do something like what Comic Ken is doing. But unfortunately, I've been on YouTube for far too long to feel like it's worth it. Like that ship has sailed. I am going to repurpose some of my videos to Facebook and see how that goes, but right now the YouTube ship has sailed. I just can't do that no more, unfortunately. Like if I syndicate my YouTube videos on Facebook and it gets buzz, then I'll bring it back. Kind of like how Fox did Family Guy, but how things stands right now, no, sorry, no. I need a coalition. I need a coalition of people who do YouTube. Got to get a team. It's got to be me. It's got to be October 7s. It's got to be Comic Ken. It's got to be Young Wavy. We got to have like a YouTube front of just posting our stuff. And then, I don't know, when we reach, like... Actually, YouTube doesn't pay that much anyway. It'll be all for naught. It's like, actually, scrap that. YouTube doesn't even pay that much. I mean, if I get them all onto Facebook, maybe. And I can get their Facebook to, like, grow a certain amount of times, and we can probably help each other think about strategies of, like, posting, how we can syndicate our content on that platform to make money. But I have to be the guy. I don't think if I can convince those guys to hop on Facebook and say, yo, can we just do the strategy? They're probably gonna be like, no, there's no bread in it. I know this. I played these games before. If anyone's gonna join me, I'm gonna have to put some bread on the table. I'm gonna have to be the example. I just know that's how it is. They're all gonna say, let's see how it works out for you. I gotta have to make it work for myself. And then I would have to help other people along the way. Off of my hard work. But hopefully when it gets to that point, I'll make enough money to the point where I won't care about it. Hopefully $3,000 a month. That'd be cool. I can live off that. Easy. Probably move out that. I probably have to move out of America if I want to live off of that. There's a lot of countries I can probably go to, and live off of 3K easy. Like, I don't need a lot of money. I really don't need a lot of money. And plus, that's like my goal. That is my goal, like baseline. My goal baseline with Facebook. And that's not counting the sales of the digital products. And that's not counting the like branching out to other collaborators to make merchandise of my series. Probably several Chimera Island toys. That'd be cool. I would love that. That'd be awesome. Because ain't no way I'm going to a publisher. Right now, I don't trust them. I don't trust them. Oh, yeah. Lots of people in Colombia or Mexico or the Philippines live like kings for less than 2K a month. Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to be a passport, bro. Unfortunately, I might have to be a passport, bro. I don't know. I really don't know. I get why my brother doesn't want to go back to America. I just don't know. Guys. Oh yeah, but there's one more rant that I want to get off my chest before I leave, because earlier today, Wait, hold up. I feel like you could just take clips of the past 2 months and play Goyslop games to make hundreds of One Piece is too long videos. Maybe on Facebook this time. No, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm doing. Well, on my personal account that I turned into a professional account, I'm clipping my gameplay live streams and putting it up on there. And anything that's pertaining to live streams like this, where I'm working on the series, I'm just I'm just gonna put it on the Studio Masonimus Facebook page. I have like 10 pieces of content that I'm posting like every day. 10 pieces of content that I'm posting every day. I need to, after this, I have to get back to try to schedule the next week content. But making 10 pieces of content to post like per week is not easy. It's busy work that makes it's like busy work like Harvest Moon, honestly, to me. It's like some people can make a game out of it because it fuels that era. It fuels like progression. I get that feeling of progression while not doing a lot of work. And after I fill out the upload schedule for next week, it feels good. It looks organized. I like it. It feels good. It looks good. I feel organized, and I can sleep tight knowing that I don't have to wake up and be like, oh man, I gotta post the next video because it's already there. Like three posts are already up before I wake up at like 7 a.m. And that feels good. That feels amazing. I was like, why don't you read my message earlier? Wait. Sorry. Oh, wait. No, wait. I was like, why didn't you read my message earlier? The answer was like, I had to resend it and censor Goyslop. Oh, okay. Gotta remember. Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah, Goyslop is like an anti-Semitic term now. You can't say that no more. You gotta watch your mouth, young man. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. No, but I was like, the one more rant that I want to go on before I leave. I was bored, and what I usually do when I'm bored on YouTube is search if Andre Williams posted anything on YouTube because he has ghosted his YouTube channel. I don't want to go on his Twitter because it sucks. It's nothing but this is what black people be up to when they're left alone. I'm like, I get like at first his detractors would just call him a coon and Uncle Tom and just want like white acceptance. Like when I watch his videos, I'm like, nah, I don't really see it. But when I go on his Twitter, I'm like, okay. And I'm like, okay, they're not crazy anymore. I'm like, okay, I think I get it. I think I get where they're coming from. But there was this. I was like looking him up on YouTube to see if he posted anything or he became a guest on somebody's podcast, and I saw somebody talking about him, and he was saying that just a guy that he was a guy that had a very vulgar presentation saying that Andre Williams just want white dick, white cock, like just white genitalia. It's a very homophobic, as I dare say, way to degrade him. And I was like, okay, some Andre Williams hate. I can listen to him because I don't know the guy. I can get another thing. I was kind of bored of the video because all he said was what a lot of people have said like 1,000 times before. So I just looked at some other things that he made. And one of the things was it was something about him hating on Christianity. He like a video of him hating Christianity. And I was like, that's interesting. So I clicked on that video, put it on 2x speed, and the guy just went on a tirade of saying if you what's his name? Let me look at my video. I'm so glad you asked. What's his name? What's his name? What's the name? Come on, tell me on it. Like it's like SpongeBob. What's the name? Come on, I gotta get something on the name. Dokude. Dokudee. Dokude. He said, okay, so the first video that I watched was Andre Williams will do anything for white validation. Even his ... whatever. And it's just a caricature drawing of Andre Williams with a phallic shadow overcasting his face and a casting of good boy on the other side. And I'm like, interesting. And then another video that piqued my interest was this Christian TikToker is why I hate Christianity. So I just watched through all of the what's his name? What's the name? Someone tell me on the name. The Andre Williams video. He had several Andre Williams video, but that was like the one that was like the most recent one. And what he was talking about was nothing really interesting at all. It was just Andre Williams. He just says white talking points. He wants white acceptance. He wants and he hates his own kind. Just general stuff that if you heard one Andre Williams detractor, you pretty much heard them all. And that was his video. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I get the criticisms. And then when I go to why this Christian TikToker explains why he hates Christianity, it was a very interesting video, but not for the obvious reasons. The reason why the video was interesting to me was he started out with trashing on this woman that's disassociating herself from the LGBTQ community, and he went on a tirade saying if you want to use religion to hate people off of their gay people, queer people, trans people, then you are a garbage human being. And he says very blasphemous things about Jesus, saying that he hated Jesus. And he hated how he hated all the good things people did in the world for the name of Christ because he believes all the good things came from themselves, and it's a shame that people would credit God for the good things that they would do. And I'm like, okay, first things first. This is why I could never be a leftist. This is why I could never be a leftist, because it's always like this. It's always like this. Bro, what factory made this guy? Dude, you just gotta talk about... I feel like that's just the way you gotta... That's just the way you win. Because you just gotta talk about politics and people will blow you... And then you'll blow up. I don't want to talk... I don't want to make politics my main thing on this channel because I'm like, I don't care. Like, I just want, I'm just the comic guy. I want, if everybody read my comics, like, would go on Facebook, interact with my posts, they would read my comics, say, like, yo, you did this great, you could do better on this, oh man, I love this character, oh, I hate how you executed this and that. I would love to have those types of conversations. But I just don't... want to. I don't want to. I would absolutely hate. Like, I want to, like, I clip anything that Gemini finds is... I clip anything that Gemini finds as a clip-worthy tirade, right? And, usually Gemini, they filter out anything that's too provocative, that's too just too provocative, that's too racy in the terms of service. So I fortunately don't share those clips, right? But if there was like a way, if I clipped more of my racy stuff, and if those are the ones that got me famous, and then everything would be day in and day out just me of like my hot takes, I wouldn't be that interesting because I'd be like, I don't care. I don't care. Usually. I just want to make money off of making like comics, of putting everything I make in media so I can engage with the ideas that I don't like, steelman those arguments, put them in a character, and then tear them down while trying to do my best steelmanning those positions. And then having conversations with people of how I could do something better. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want. That's what I want. But anyway. Yeah, so anyway, going back to the guy that said he hated Christianity, I thought it was so freaking funny how the Andre Williams video, it had a lot of homoerotic jokes of how Andre Williams wants white approval in white male genitalia. And then he goes to say, yo, if you want to hide your bigotry behind God, you're a garbage human being. So I'm like, this is why you can never take these people seriously. This is why, like, when I saw that he hates Christianity video, I'm like, yeah, that makes, like, yeah, the way that you conduct yourself, it makes a lot of sense. The way that you formulate your ideas, it makes a lot of sense, right? Because it's cool if you want to hide your bigotry with, it's cool if you want to hide your bigotry if you hate somebody under the guise, if you want to target one specific person. You can be homophobic if you're trying to target one specific person that you don't like, but you cannot be bigoted if you want to say, well, God doesn't like it. God doesn't like this behavior. Like, you can never take these people seriously. And I'm like, I could never be a leftist because a lot of them are like this. I could never do that. And plus, a lot of leftists just hate God. So I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. Sorry. I'm just de facto on the right because the opposition is so openly antichrist. And I'm like, I can't, dude. I can't, though. Like, dude, I love justice for all. I love justice for all. I I actually no, I won't even give them Justice for All. I wouldn't even give them that. Because that's like saying environmentalism, justice for all, caring about people is left wing. Well, that's not left wing, actually. Those are Christian traits. And these people hate Christianity. So I don't know what these guys are. Like, all I know about these guys is that they just hate white people. They hate anybody in power. They hate people that have what they don't. And I just can't get down with that. They just hit, like, there's, anytime I hear anything about a leftist ideology, it's about just, they want to capitalize just Christian virtues while denouncing Christ. While seriously denouncing Christ. And when you strip that out, it's just hating people who have. Just people hating people who have. And being upset that you're the have-not. I cannot get down with that. It just evolves into that. But yeah, Lamai says, guy probably had Christian parents who did not let him have a boyfriend. Probably. I'm not being homophobic, but probably. No, but actually, it's not probably that. It's not really that. Honestly, when I heard like 2 minutes of his tirade, it sounded like just general anti-Christian spiel that he probably had like a gay friend or close to gay people, and he lived in this, and he's black, so he probably lived in the South, and just saw like, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I don't care. I can probably come up with something that's 10 times more interesting to make him believe what he believes. And I can probably get something get more things out of the scenario that I created in my mind than actually listening to him reason why the world is what he is, and the fact that he explains the world that is what he is. I can only take away that he is in the hell of his own creation. So whatever, it is what it is. Comparing the internet ecosystem in the U.S. and Canada, since we're influenced by y'all, and France's topics are so apolitical, it's night and day. I mean, for me, it's like the identity part of America is interesting to me, and I listen to, and I give more leeway to white people, what white people have to say about the demographics changing in America, because they have been the majority of America ever since its founding, right? So it's more interesting for me to hear their perspective of how things are turning out the way that they are. That is like what basically fuels why I listen to them. And when I listen to like black people on the same issues, it's pretty much grievance all the way down, and all that grievance is understandable. I get tired of listening to it. So, and plus America, like, it used to be the cultural religious trauma. By what? Are you talking about the guy that hates Christianity, or the grievance conversation? Because black people, well, depending on who you talk to, black people are like Christian. They are Christian, but it is grievance politics. Yeah. Oh yeah, there is a term of that, grievance politics. It's a lot of grief. So any black person who was vocal about being black in America, you either get people like him, people who want to go up and down and talk about the systemic oppressions in America, like the Professor Curry guy, or you could honestly just FD signifier, like just pick a black guy off the internet out of the hat, a black person on YouTube, like just put all the names in, and most likely you're just gonna find like a socialist, leftist, communist guy, right? The guy who hates Christian. Oh, the guy who hates Christians. Religious trauma. I didn't get, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't get that far into the video to know why he hates it. It was a lot of, I really couldn't know. I don't, and if he didn't make a reason of why he doesn't like it, I don't really care. Of like why he personally hates it, what led him to hate it, I personally don't care. He can say that it's because of the intolerance, the religious intolerance that Christianity has, but I just don't care. I really don't care why he doesn't like it. I just think his foundations are just terrible. Why the foundations can be terrible, I feel like it would be more interesting to write a character, explain how they have terrible foundations than to listen to a guy that experiences like a dime a dozen of why they don't like Christianity. Like, I couldn't really do that. I really couldn't do that, sorry. Were you ever the socialist, race-conscious type, or you started the right-wing adjacent? I just started right-wing adjacent. I was always Christian. So anybody with an overt Christian message, I easily gravitated towards. I easily gravitated towards. Everybody that I encountered as a leftist online, they were just antichrist. they didn't care about Christianity, or they were just straight up antichrist. So if there were any socialist Christians, they would use Christianity to push socialism. And they would use Christianity to push like some weird heterodox things that I wouldn't even hear in my own church, my black church. It would always, like, things like gay marriage would creep in. Things like, oh yeah, that's the thing about socialists, even if they're Christian socialists, because I remember I listened to one guy, like, if they're socialist or left-leaning and Christian, they will always sneak in the agenda of the state within the church. Like, they will be the first people to say gay marriage is good. They'll be the first people to say there should be female preachers or female pastors within the church. They will be the first people that will bend the traditions of the church to the wills of the state. And that's why I could never really rock with socialists, because all they are tools of the state. While at the same time, like, hating the state. And they will tell you that, like, the state is terrible. They will tell you that the current state of the nation is terrible, but they will never acknowledge that they're working on the behalf. They're working on the behalf of it. And it's so funny, because they would look at the socialists would look at, like, people on the right and say that they're being bootlickers for the state. And the people on the right can look at the people on the left and say the exact same thing. And that's why I just don't, instead of being an enlightened centrist, I just say I just like to go with God. What I want to go to Christ. And when I notice when people want to co-opt the acts of the state within the church, it's easy to pick that out. And I just don't follow them. And they tend to be socialists. Like, race conscious? No. Like, I think my dad wanted me to be a little bit race conscious, but he wasn't really all there. Like, my parents wanted me to be a little bit race conscious, but, like, they had jobs, so they're like, figure it out yourself. Like, here's like some black literature, go read it. Here's Malcolm X's autobiography. Here's what was that guy? What was that gay black guy? James Baldwin. Like, here's some Malcolm X. Here's James Baldwin. And my parents aren't even down with LGBT. It's just like, he's just a prolific black writer. and they're like, oh yeah, we could talk about it a little bit, but that's about it. It was like, and then if there's like, if you watch something and they're like, hey, did you know about the Black Panthers? I'm like, yeah, and then my dad's gonna be like, okay. How do you feel about the term BIPOC? I don't even know what that means anymore. I don't even know what that means. What, Black Indigenous People of Color? Is that like an all-inclusive term, or is it just black and Indigenous? If you are Black and Indigenous and a person of color, oh, it's just Black Indigenous people. That's just it. I don't care. Just don't. I don't like. I don't. Get that nonsense away from me. I don't care. Like, if anybody, no, it's. I wouldn't use it, but if somebody used it around me, I would understand what timing they're on. That it's kind of like that. I wouldn't even say that I'm center. I wouldn't even say that I am center or anything. But when I see people use terms like that, I'm like, okay, I know you're a leftist. I know what timing you're on. It's stuff like that. But meaning Asians are too successful to be privy to grievances. Yeah, like I said, it goes back to what I said before. It's always people who have it up. It's always pocket watching. And I can't do that. I can't just do that. I'm too busy with my own things to pocket watch what other people have. I can't do, like, anytime somebody wants to do that, I'm like, get away from me. I'm like, ew. Ew, I want to make a comic. Get away from me. Ew. It's all it just goes down to that, just pocket watching. I'm like, where, like, you can lift yourself up without looking at how other people are doing, you know? So yeah, I can't. So going back to the other thing, race conscious type. Yeah, I guess I was never really race conscious. I was just never really race conscious. So yeah, I was just always right wing adjacent. Do you feel like the U.S. giving people a jubilee? Wait, how do you feel like the U.S. giving people a jubilee year? What the heck is a jubilee year? That's how out of it I am. What is... I don't think... Well, I'm doing a quick search on it. I don't see anybody talking about it. Okay. Huh. Like in the Bible. Like what? Like, I'm not familiar. Like, can you explain it a little bit more? Yeah. Oh. The Jubilee is appearance of emancipation. I've never heard anybody talk about a Jubilee year in the U.S. Do you feel like the left's next agenda will be transracial people? No. No, not really. I think their agenda's pretty clear cut. Just open borders. Yeah, it's just pretty clear cut. A lot of the things that they try to do culturally, I'm really tuned out. I'm really tuned out of it, or I wasn't really listening to seeing like what they do next, or what they're trying to do next. Because I'm like, it's all just Satan, right? And I don't have, dude. The reason why I don't like look into like what's the left's next agenda is because I don't have any power to counteract that. Just like how the left pushed gay marriage, just like how the left pushed women in church, just like how the left pushed so many different things, like et cetera, et cetera. I have no power in vetoing what is going to do or counteracting what are they going to do next. But transracial, no. The closest that they're gonna get to transracial is probably miscegenation. Just which they have been doing it for like a long time. I think transracial is like no, but they will push like race mixing heavy. Which I have no real opinions on. But the whole idea of pushing race mixing is to the push behind race mixing. The whole push behind race mixing, I'm sure you guys have heard before, is to lower the white population. That's another front that I've heard. It's crazy to have to stream for 3 hours and a half without drawing. Yeah, because, like, it's pain. Trying to draw... Wait, that's... Sorry. Trying to draw with freaking 5 frames per second is a pain. I hate it. I couldn't do it. I can't do it. No, it always worked. But I cannot draw when it's like 5 frames per second. I cannot draw when it's 5 frames per second. It irritates me to the point where there we go. Are you done, Clip Studio? Like I said, I really have to fix this because I don't know what's going on with my CPU. Switch this to gaming? No, it's like it's 8:30. I'm actually overtime right now. I'm actually overtime. So, yeah, maybe, next time I really gotta lock in and try to open up this PC and see why is not working like it was in yesteryear. But anyway, I told Levy that I was going to call him like 30 minutes ago. I told him I was going to call him 30 minutes ago. Yeah, y'all take care. Thanks for stopping by at the stream. We're going to try this again on Tuesday, was it? Thursday. 4 people watching. 2 people on Twitch, apparently. So 6 people all together. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty nice. So, yeah, y'all take care. Peace.